Hey, what's up, guys? Dropship Tyler here, and just wanted to do a surprise live. I've been trying to get the dropshipping Godfather on my channel for a while now. Actually, maybe not the Godfather, just the legend. But anyway, there he is. So, Paul J. Lipsky, welcome to the channel, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to, be on a small fishes channel like myself.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here, Tyler. It's taken long enough, but yeah, I think we have a ton we could talk to people about.
Yeah, I've paid you lots of money in super chats to get you here, so hopefully the people take advantage of this and ask some good questions. So, oh, Paul is God. All right, Paul, you're God apparently. Anyway, man. So yeah, just to give people a little background, Paul. We both started around the same time. I think you started. What was the day that you started the Udemy course?
I believe it was like January 15th, 2017. Definitely January 2017. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I think that's like right around the same time I started, and I'm pretty sure I can go back and look and see when I enrolled or whatever, or when I completed the course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like literally, it's crazy how you, me, Jeremy, and Sully, Solomon from the what is it, the couple, the e-commerce couple.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Sully, if you're watching this. Anyways, I don't feel like they go by that anymore anyway, but because he's trying to start his own YouTube. But we all started around the same time, and here we all still are. It's wild. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I've thought a lot about this, and I think it's just, I think it says something about, getting together with other people and like brainstorming, forming like a mastermind, if that's what you want to call it. There must be something about that works, that motivates that's motivated each of us to like push each other forward. Because, we've all done really well with drop shipping. And when we first started, like none of us were that great at it. So it wasn't.
No, it was an easy time too, though. So I mean, we've kind of had to develop our strategy. But yeah, you're right. It's not like we were anything special.
Yeah. So I think that's, if there's any lesson here, it's that you got to find a group and hold each other accountable and work together, because it really works.
Agreed. And like literally all of us are full time now in dropshipping. So yeah, it's crazy. I think. It's funny because Jeremy was the first one. He was already unemployed when he took the course, I'm pretty sure. Sully was in school. And you had the best job out of all of us, so that's probably why it took you longer to get out of it. But then like 6 months after I started, I quit my job, and then you just quit your job. What, like 4 or 5, or no, not even that long. I was gonna say 4 or 5 months, but like 4 or 5 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's been less than 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well,
yeah.
That's something I want to talk about then. How has that been for you?
It's been wild. Like it's been difficult actually in some regards, but overall, like the day I left, I knew it was the best decision that I could have made. Like beforehand, I was nervous about it. I left like a really stable, secure job.
One that you have to go to like multiple years of college after college, correct?
Yeah. I was an attorney, so I did 4 years undergrad, 3 years law school, then internships, and worked a lot of cruddy jobs that I hated before getting like a really nice job. And then 2 years in, I left it to do dropshipping.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What'd your parents think? And what's your like family, your husband, everything?
Yeah. So my husband, Chad, and I, like, we talked about it a lot this past year, like way before we even decided to do it. And there were some days we were like, yeah, we're going to do it. Like Paul's going to quit. And then like a week later, I'm like, no, I can't do it yet. I can't do it yet. Like a lot of that. But he was always very supportive. It was like one of those like 49%, 51% decisions where like he had a ton of input, but at the end of the day, it was my decision to make on the timing of it. when I told my parents, my mom was pretty cool with it. My dad was super nervous. It was actually pretty funny because this whole year, my dad had been, every time I would bring up drop shipping with him, he was very excited. My dad's a business owner. He started his own company. So he's an entrepreneur himself.
Nice.
But he started like one company, did really well right from the beginning. And that's all he's done his whole life now. So it's not like he's always trying new things, but he's always trying new things within his business. So, but this whole year he kept telling me, don't quit your job. Like, whatever you do though, like, I'm so happy for you, but don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. So the day I called him and said, I'm quitting my job, it was like, he was nervous, but he's like, okay, like, you're 30 years old, you're a big kid, it's your decision. And he's been really supportive. Like, he's super excited by it. He loves talking business with me. So
well, that answers Lewis's question, because he asked, how old are you guys? So you're 30?
Yeah, 30 now.
Yeah, and I'm 26. So yeah, it's we're both young. Good time to do it. Because I mean, 30, obviously, still super young. 26, obviously, even younger. Not to rub it in, but I'm just saying we have plenty of time to bounce back if anything fails.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've got a great support system. I've got a great support system. Yeah, I'm not a 2-household income, so that's not, you got the advantage of that. But my girlfriend, she's still in college, racking up debt right now. But so I'm kind of the opposite direction of that. But
yeah, that's tough. I mean, like, do you have a backup plan?
My fallback plan is to don't fail. I mean,
no, I go back to your old job or your old career.
Yeah, so I feel like it wouldn't take me that long if I had to get back into, like, because I always did something in real estate the past 3 years. Like, the first job I had out of college, or the first internship was dealing with delinquent loans. Then my first real job was actually analyzing portfolios, rental home portfolios, to give out loans. And then the third job was at a hotel chain, but I was in, like, that's kind of real estate. It's financial planning analysis. It's similar to rental properties, except you're looking at, like, vacancy rates and, like, on a mass scale, whatever. And then the last one I had, I was buying rental homes for a real estate investment trust. So I feel like I have good experience to where I could at least, I don't want to go to an entry level analyst job, but I could at least get an analyst job. It just sucks because now, no matter what I do, if I go back to a desk job, I more than likely am going to be taking a huge pay cut if this fails. Like, well, I guess if it fails, I'll be making $0, so I won't be taking a pay cut then. But compared to what I'm making now, you know what I mean? Like, I can't really go back and feel good about being at, like, a 50 to 60K job. Is like, that sounds like bad to somebody who's watching this, who is doing that job. But once you have experienced, making a lot of money, you don't really not want to make a lot of money, if that makes sense. But you have to do what you have to do to survive too at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would try to get another job, and hopefully the future employer wouldn't watch my YouTube videos bashing how I bash desk jobs for 2 years straight on my YouTube channel. But yeah, that's, what about you, man? What's your plan?
Well, my husband's my backup plan, I guess. Chad has like a solid career. He's really smart, very smart guy, and he has, like, accomplished a lot. He's a speech pathologist, so he's, like, accomplished a lot. So it's so easy for him to get. I think it'd be so easy for him to get a job anywhere. He still works. He loves what he does, so it's nice having that kind of backup always there as well. But once you, like, leave the law profession, for me personally, it's really hard to get back in if you leave it for too long, I'd say.
Yeah. And is it just, I mean, is it more so because you're, like, do they feel like you're out of touch with the current state of law if you're, like, removed yourself too far from it, or, like, what's the reasoning?
Yeah, the law changes every year, every month. It changes so quickly. It's just so complicated because, they create laws, but then courts interpret them differently, and then they'll interpret them differently the next year. So it's always evolving. And it's just, you got to keep up with it, or else you're going to be ineffective at what you do. But at this point, I've been saying that I like working for myself so much that if I did get back into law, there's a good chance I would try to, open up my own firm, a single person firm, and just do it all myself. It's a lot of work. It's really hard, but at least then I would be working for myself.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing like that I love about dropshipping is it's actually introduced me into, because everyone who likes being an entrepreneur or whatever probably dabbled when they were kids and throughout college, maybe, sold some pot to their friends or what. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean, though. Like they've always tried to do like entrepreneurial things. And in my opinion, it's kind of opened my eyes of like what is actually possible on a big scale. And that is, I mean, yeah, it's really eye opening, like I just said, because now you can go do your own thing and you're comfortable being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And I hear that from so many people that eBay dropshipping in particular was like their gateway into it. I guess because the barrier to entry is so low and so easy to get started. Like you're doing that $0 startup. Sorry, what am I talking about?
Yeah, the $0 investment dropshipping.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've heard so many people say, yeah, they started with eBay dropshipping, and then it just opened their mind to what's possible for themselves. And then they go on to do like other stuff, or they stick with it.
It's true. It's definitely true. I mean, being on YouTube, that's another stream of being an entrepreneur, in my opinion. Whether you're generating revenue from a course or from ads or from affiliate stuff, whatever, we wouldn't have had this opportunity unless we were successful with dropshipping at the very beginning. So,
yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, let's look at the comments here.
Okay.
See what we got. So Noah Mensis is here as usual. Appreciate you showing up, Noah. And I didn't mean as usual, like annoyingly, like you're still here. I meant like, thanks for being a loyal, engaging follower. I actually did Paul, if you've ever checked out Noah's channel,
I've seen it. Yeah.
You've seen it. Yeah. He's up and coming. Got like 500 subscribers now. And when I had 500 subscribers, I thought I was huge. So obviously, he's doing well. And I actually did a live on his channel the other day. So appreciate you, Noah, coming out. Broman, do you guys have alternative investment avenues that you do with your dropship profits? That's a good question. Do you invest your money, or are you waiting for the right opportunity to do something else?
So far, I haven't really done too much with it. Because I was working my job, I was putting a lot into the 401k at my work. Actually, for a lot of this year, I was putting almost all my money into it because I was making money from eBay. I didn't need the money from work. But now the money's just kind of, obviously I can't contribute to the 401k anymore. So right now I'm just concentrating on making money is basically what I've been telling myself, because I know investing gets like tricky. And I don't know. I've studied it in the past a little bit, but I don't have time to figure it out right now because I just want to make money right now.
Yeah, there's a book by Tony Robbins called Unshakable, and if anyone watching, or Paul, you guys actually want to learn how to invest money correctly, like long term, not just trying to be like one of these day trader people, listen to that book. Honestly, it talks about investing in index funds. So like investing with what the market does, the index funds are going to do too. So that way you're never actually trying to beat the market. You're just trying to stay on par with it. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in there for anyone interested in investing. I found that to be a really good book.
Is that Unshakable or Money Master the Game?
It's called Unshakable, but it might be.
Because I read another book by him. I think it was by Tony, called Money Master the Game. And he talked a lot about it in there. He probably wrote multiple books about it. But
yeah, man, he probably like just copied the book, changed the title, and suckered me into it. But yeah, this one was called Unshakable. But I'm sure like his big thing is investing in index funds. But
yeah,
myself, I was doing that, and I still have an account that takes money recurring. Like it's called Acorns. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what it does, I have a set amount of money it takes out of my account on a daily basis, and it invests it for me. And it's basically like an index fund. So that's what I'm doing now. There's no reason for me to spread my money around too much because, as you know, Amazon holds funds for a while. So I look at Amazon as like my investment. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have to hold money in there. I have like 150K in there right now. That's an investment. And I actually make more money off of like just constantly churning that Amazon money rather than putting it in other places. And it's a guaranteed income. So
Yeah, definitely. And you just bought a house, right?
exactly. So yeah, I just bought a house and someone was joking with me in a group chat. They were like, "You put 3% down, didn't you?" And no, I did not put 3%. I put a decent chunk of change down. And that is actually it's not gonna like hurt my Amazon business. But it's just not going to allow me to like scale any bigger, obviously, than, because 30 grand, you can do another like 60 grand in sales a month, probably with an extra 30 grand of capital, or even more. But yeah, so like, it's interesting. I had to like, and I also had to cut off my store not cut it off, but, lower the sales, raise the margin so I could get some of the money out. And yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing I'm doing, which I forgot about, is because I have an LLC for my business, we've started SEP IRAs. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but it's like a 401k, basically, sort of like a 401k for your little LLC. You can't put like a ton of money into them, I don't think, but it does help lower your taxes at the end of the year.
Wait, what is this?
SEP IRA. An IRA is a independent retirement account. Anyone can start one. You don't need an LLC to start an IRA, but I think the cap for an IRA each year is $5,500. And a SEP IRA, I think it's a little bit higher because it's technically through your LLC. I'm not really an expert on this, but
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess we should be focusing on teaching people how to make the money first.
yeah.
And then we can be the Tony Robbins later. Because obviously neither you or I claim to be experts on this stuff. To be honest, 2 years ago, I was just trying to pay my rent. So it's been nice to be able to do this now. But let me see. Okay, so let's see what people are saying. I saw one comment that was interesting. Oh, Lewis, or not Lewis. Somebody asked, where else can they find us? You're trying to grow on Instagram, right?
So not really anymore. There was like 2 weeks when I was trying to do it. It was just too much for me right now. But I am on Instagram. I post on there sometimes. It's more of like behind the scenes. So if you just search for my name on Instagram, you'll find me.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I'm Dropship Tyler on Instagram. And what's funny is I had my personal Instagram account that I was like renamed Dropship Tyler. And I was just like, no, it's too weird. Like my friends that I had from college or whatever, like they're going to think I'm like trying to monetize them, or I don't even know, like advertise to them, whatever. People get annoyed, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm sharing like thumbnails and stuff that's not even like relevant to them. But yeah, so I created a second Instagram account. So you guys should go follow that. I did post a cool picture on there, and I want to show you guys at least the sold sign picture. And if you guys want to check that out for yourself, go on my Instagram. 1 second, Paul. Sorry for this. Oh, here it is. This is it. I'm so happy about this picture because my dog looks so good in it. Hold on. Do you can you see that?
A little bit blurry, but it's
no.
What you're doing.
Oh, all right. Well, you got to go to my Instagram then and see the real picture. But yeah, I know you hate that color, Paul. The color of the house, seafoam green. I don't know if you can tell.
I like seafoam green. Why wouldn't I like seafoam green?
I don't know. I just assumed. So anyway, what made you guys choose the software actually, do you mind discussing software at all?
No, of course not.
All right. So you were using DSM Tool, right?
Yeah.
Are you still using it?
No, I've switched over to AutoDS.
Cool. So what could you talk a little bit about like the benefits of that? Like what are the features, I guess, that AutoDS, outperforms DSM tool on?
Yeah. So the things that really attracted me to AutoDS were just like these little things that it does, like a lot of automation that it will do. So if items aren't selling well, you could set it up so it just deletes those items from your store automatically. You can tag listings, which I know doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you have VAs who are listing items into your eBay store, multiple VAs, you want to be able to keep track of who's listing what, so you know which VAs are doing a good job. And tagging it is the easiest way to do that. So I really like that.
I'm big on that too, by the way, and SaleFreaks has that same feature. So I'm glad that, AutoDS has it, because that's huge.
Yeah. They do have something I haven't messed around with is they do have auto ordering for Amazon. I haven't really tried it, but they are now connected up with Blue Care Express, which is so. And these are a lot of these things are like new features, which is something I really look for. Is the software constantly moving forward? Are they constantly coming out with new things? And I'll say the first thing that really attracted me to them was the fact that they do variations for items. And a lot of software doesn't do that. So the variations are really important, I think, because they really make a difference. So
yeah, on my manual store, I can already tell that I have a bunch of variation listings on the manual store, and they're doing very well. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are the main things. And the owner of it, he actually came to New York City like over the summer. And coincidentally, like one of the guys who works for it works at a co-working space like 3 blocks from where I used to work. So I got to meet up with them and hang out with them for a day and check out their software. And I told them like, look, at the time I told them like, look, your software looks great, but it's missing these features that I would need. And then like a month later, he messaged me and said, I added all the features you asked for. I was like, wow.
That's pretty nice. That's when you know you have a big influence.
What?
I said, that's when you know you have a big influence.
Well, it just shows that they're like willing to innovate and actually push their software forward.
Yeah, definitely. One thing AB Dragons asked, can you move your listings from SaleFreaks to AutoDS? I'm sure you can, but all right, I gotta say I'm not advocating for that. Paul does AutoDS, I do SaleFreaks. They don't. I mean, SaleFreaks doesn't pay me. Obviously, I'm an affiliate, but they don't pay me to like promote their software. I just literally, I feel like it's the best for if you're doing strictly Amazon to eBay arbitrage. Obviously, Paul's doing Walmart, Home Depot, some Amazon, some all that, so he can speak more about like those sources and all of that. But I'm just giving my opinion on Amazon. So, but I mean, it is important. Obviously, it sounds like a great software because it is important that they're innovating, and that's one of the reasons I stick with SaleFreaks is because they're constantly doing the same thing. And I feel like eventually with what I've heard of recently, like those two softwares are definitely going to be competing for number one, especially when SaleFreaks starts adding more sources, because they are adding more sources. So once that happens, it's going to be interesting to see. Like there's definitely only a couple softwares I would use out there in the market. And I mean, obviously, if you vouch for AutoDS, then I'm sure they're good. But I'm vouching for SaleFreaks, guys. Just a heads up. But
I'm curious to test. We can go like head to head on the auto ordering with Amazon.
Yeah. One thing, does AutoDS have coupon? Do they click the coupon button on the Amazon order before it auto orders, or do you know?
I don't know. Like I said, it's not something I've really looked into a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting. Have you noticed? This is always a question people like. I don't. It's weird. I guess it's all theory, but did you notice a drop in sales or anything when you switch softwares? Like any difference between like once you revoked the authorization from DSM tool and like, I don't know if you've done that, but I'm just throwing ideas out here. Like, did you see any drop in sales or increase in sales, or is it just better to work with?
I've just found it better for what I need. I switched over like right before Q4, so not the best time to really do like a split test on something like that. So I can't really say, because the
Gotcha.
sales were better afterward, but it was also quarter 4. So
Gotcha. Do
look, like I really
go
like
ahead.
AutoDS. And I know you really like Sales Freaks, but I think like we could both agree that people just got to pick whatever software they pick and just do it and stop like looking around so much.
Oh, totally agree with that. That's a great point. And that's like what Mark and I, if you watched our little debate we had last night about manual versus, auto ordering, both strategies work. Like it just literally depends on which one you build out and which one, you spend more time focusing on and learning.
Yeah.
And, if you have a big VA team like you do, where like I actually decided I didn't want a big VA team on eBay anymore. So I deleted all my manual listings with Walmart and Home Depot and all of that. And I just focused on Sale Freaks because that's what I wanted to do. So, but whereas you're constantly growing a VA team. So it really just depends on what your strategy is.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
How many VAs did you fire when you did that?
So I had a team of like, I think I had like 7 or 8 at the peak, but I had one guy who was managing like 3 or 4 VAs for me. He was in the Pakistans and they did nothing but listing. And so I just like told him, hey, I'm going to give you guys a severance and I don't need you guys anymore to list. So all of that team was gone. And then I had another 2 Philippine VAs that I ended up letting go. One of them because she had a baby and I just never rehired her back after that. Didn't give her maternity leave, paid maternity leave. Don't think that's necessary for a virtual assistant, but anyway. And then another one, I just decided I didn't need him anymore. So it was like 5 or 6 VAs I probably let go. But I mean, they understood, and I offered to help them find other jobs, with other people. So I'm not just like, taking these people for granted, after I'm done with them or whatever. I really appreciate the work that my employees have put in for me. So, but at the end of the day, it's an expense. And, your business has to be profitable and you have to make money, and you're not going to do that if you have a ton of excess employees. So, yeah. All right, let's see what else. 74 people liking and only 16 likes. Paul, people don't like you, man.
I'm going to like the video right now.
All right, there you go. There's 17. So everyone, please like this video. Paul is a great guy. We need to show him respect by liking the video, guys.
No, I shouldn't have asked that question. Luxury card store says Tyler is heartless.
No, there was a person last night. I know you saw it. Did you watch that video with Mark, right?
I watched not all of it. I watched a lot of it.
All right, so there's this guy. His name was Mr. Man, and I was talking about how somebody ordered a product and it got sent to the wrong address. Have your VAs ever done that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Man was like, that would be coming out of her paycheck, and I was like, well, their paychecks, that would be like half their paycheck for the month. So yeah. I don't do that, and I don't think anybody should do that. What's your experience with VAs, and like when have you had to let some go because they keep messing up, or to talk a little bit about that.
So I've had VAs send stuff to the wrong address. Normally it ends up at my address, which I don't think is actually their fault. I think it's the website like glitching out and sending it to the billing address. And it's not like a huge deal when that happens. But one time I had them send something really expensive to the wrong address. And I got so mad about it. So mad. Because I thought it was gone. Yeah. The guy who got delivered to, it was someone in Florida. And I forget what it was, but it was something ridiculous, like a heater to somebody in Florida. The guy was so sweet. He like messaged me and said, I just got a heater. And he was like so excited. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he was like, what should I do with it? I'm like, well, I feel really bad. He's like, no, I'll just bring it to the local Home Depot and drop it off. And it was not a problem. He was like so nice about it.
That's awesome.
I kind of got lucky there. But yeah, I've had a few VAs. Like I had one who just kept messing up the address in one way or another. And I had to let her go. And I felt so terrible because she's a single mom. And she was messaging me saying she was crying, and You got to make the decision, and then you can't back down after that. Because if you give them you should have talked to them beforehand, obviously, to tell them what's going on. But then once you like pull the plug, that's got to be it. You can't go back on something like that. It just doesn't work.
Agreed. I had one that was constantly messaging me through Facebook, saying very similar stuff that what you're saying right now. And I just eventually blocked her, and I literally told her, I was like, hey, I'm not going to hire you again, but I can at least, try to find a dropshipper who is willing to give you a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was tough. Yeah, it was good though, because my VAs and I are pretty close. We talk on a regular basis, and one of them was just like, oh, this girl gives Philippine VAs a bad name. Like, don't, she was encouraging me like not to talk to this person, and like I wasn't doing anything wrong and all of that. So that was good. But I had something I wanted to say that about your delivering to a wrong. I know what it was. This is funny. So on Amazon, and I'm sure you know this trick, right? Like, to get free shipping on Walmart, you can add like a pack of gum that's like, 90 cents or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if the item's like $34.40 and instead of paying the $5.99 shipping, you add an item that's less than $1. One of my VAs found this pack of stickers. It was like a 6-pack of stickers, and it was from the movie Cars. And it was on Walmart. And we sent that to somebody with their order. And the person actually sent it back. The Walmart invoice was in the box, and it had my address on there for the billing address. They sent it back to my parents' address, the same one you sent the teddy bear to. And they sent it back to my parents' address and said, hey, not sure why we got these, but hope you enjoy. And like, literally my mom at dinner last night pulled out the envelope and was like, yeah, somebody sent you back these stickers.
So they paid to ship them to you?
Yes, they paid the stamps to send a 90-cent pack of stickers. But I've got some my parents have some neighbors that are like younger age, so they're just gonna give them to them. But it's just so funny, people don't realize what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually I did that a lot with Home Depot at first to get free shipping. Send them like a box of nails.
Or like a single nail and like yeah. Jeremy was telling me one time he sent like a piece of wire, and it was literally just a tiny piece of wire. And yeah, I mean, like, you just send it to a random address.
Yeah.
So funny.
And usually when people ask about it, I just say it fell in the box. But one time I had somebody respond saying it came in 2 different packages. And then I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't for me then.
What I don't understand is how can these sites... Holy, my dog, did you just hear that?
Yeah.
I think she's having a dream or something. 1 second. This is
okay.
Weird. She's laying on my bed.
Yeah, while you're taking care of Charlotte. So Tyler, Jeremy, and I... Actually, Tyler and Jeremy kind of had like this little mastermind going in like early 2017. Charlotte, okay?
Yeah, man. She literally is just streaming. She's laying on my bed just streaming.
God. I had to improvise. I started telling people about our mastermind with Jeremy, how you guys were like mastermind, like holding each other accountable, right? You would every day go in and say, how many did you list? How many did you list? And then I forget why I think you messaged me because you were trying to get tax exempt or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I never was able to get tax exempt on Home Depot. It was very strange how you had no issue. You put your code in, you were fine in all 50 states. Me, I put my code in, I was only good in North Carolina, which was very annoying. Mm-hmm. And it made me drop Home Depot as a source because I couldn't be competitive with you guys. It was very frustrating. So now I have 27 permits. So I'm now Charlotte just walked in here. All right. God, that was really weird. But anyway, yeah. So now I have 27 permits. So hopefully maybe I can get tax exempt in all 50 with those. What's the deal with Home Depot tax exemption right now?
It's working fine. Last year or earlier this year, it went through like some weird phases where they would just all of a sudden like untax exempt like a large group of people. And then everyone would call up and say, what happened? And then they say, oh, just submit the paperwork again. They submit the same exact paperwork, and then it worked. It wasn't everyone. It didn't hit me. I didn't hit a lot of people. It seemed to be like people in certain states for some reason. But then it just was fine after that. So it was really strange.
That's really interesting. I'll have to go back and check and see why, and see if I can do it now. Because I do have a New York permit now. Maybe I just have to upload that one and I'll be good. But I know Jeremy's tax exempt with just California, so I don't want to keep you too long. But one last thing that I want to talk about a little bit is your Amazon dropshipping.
Yeah.
So how is that going?
It's going really well. I wish I knew when I started. I didn't write. I got to look back because I started like this time last year, and it was just too much going on at the time. So I like had it open for like 5 days and then shut it down. Then I started, I think, this summer, but I didn't want to scale up too quickly because I didn't want a velocity review. So, so it kind of scaled a little bit slower. And then like right after I quit my job, I started to really go for it. And now I think we're at almost 70,000 in sales a month.
Nice.
Pretty happy with it.
So the course is coming out soon then, huh? No, I'm just kidding, guys. Probably before Matt's though, right? No, I'm just kidding again.
What date is Matt's coming out?
It's the 15th, so it's what he says. But I'm saying, like, even if you were to do it January 15th, you might still beat him. Who knows?
Oh, because he keeps saying one date and then change.
I have faith, though. I have faith.
This one seems solid for him.
Like this date you're saying?
I don't know. He said it with a little bit more conviction.
Yeah, you're right. As I said before or actually, maybe it wasn't on YouTube. Oh, no, on a podcast. So I was on a podcast yesterday on like the site MikeWorksOnline.com. Basically, I was saying it's interesting because he doesn't have the sense of urgency that some people do because he makes so much money from Amazon dropshipping. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think he would still make more money from Amazon dropshipping than he would selling a course. It would be close, but depending on how much he put it for and how many people there are trying to learn. But yeah, I guess that's where the sense of urgency comes in. Cause I know that, he would kill it with course sales. There's already people just waiting, like, probably saving money to buy an Amazon course. Mm-hmm. So who knows, but what are the most like interesting things you find about Amazon dropshipping compared to eBay dropshipping?
I think, well, the first thing was just how strict they are with stuff. Now, how quickly things could break down.
You're talking about like metrics and stuff?
Yeah, with metrics. So, like we screw up a couple things and we did everything right, we thought, and we still like screwed up like our valid tracking rate, for instance, really quickly. And that's because we weren't doing it right. And Amazon they're not like transparent about things that should be transparent to sellers, like the valid tracking rate, because it's just not done like the way you would think it would be done. So just stuff like that really was most surprising.
Yeah, but you've never had any problems with suspensions or anything yet?
No.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Because that's a big one. That's good though.
You've been suspended, right?
Just once, because what happened was I changed my bank account information on the account because I actually switched to where I was using payability. Amazon thought someone hacked into the account. They canceled all of the orders that were on the account. And yeah, I lost a little bit of money, but they refunded a lot of them. Amazon actually took the heat for it and refunded me and worked with me. I just had to upload like an Excel sheet with the order ID and the tracking number because the items were already ordered on Walmart. We were just waiting to upload not waiting, but the items had the tracking. We were going to upload those, whatever. Even some of the ones that had the tracking uploaded, Amazon still canceled the order just because they assumed somebody hacked in and when the bank account was changed. It was so dumb. After that, I haven't had any issues.
Are you still using payability?
No, I don't use payability.
Why not? Because you have the capital?
Yeah, I have the capital and the credit lines now to not have to use payability. So, yeah, I mean, I could I could sell more and use payability and maybe make a little bit more money, but I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I paid them $30,000 last year, and I didn't even do that many sales compared to what I've done this year.
Hmm.
So I would rather, and I think, yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know how much I would have paid them this year. I couldn't get the rate down to 1%. They actually do that for some of the higher volume sellers. So they were having me at 2% for a while, and then when I complained, they put me down to 1.75, and then when I was going to quit payability, they put me down to 1.5. So maybe I could have worked them down to 1 eventually, but they weren't going to do it for me the last time I asked. So I decided, I would try to go on my own. And the Amex Gold card has been, really solid. And just I've, tried increasing my credit cards, my like other credit cards as well to try to get more of a credit line. But yeah, I mean, if you can do it with credit cards, then that's the way to go instead of paying that fee. Because a lot of people don't realize this, but if you're using like fake tracking to kind of like help with your metrics and all of that, payability still takes a 2% fee from that sale, even though you go to cancel it later on.
Hmm.
And so like, like just because they're fronting the money every day that the trackings are uploaded,
Mhm.
then, and like, that's when the next day is the money's fronted in the payability account, but you're getting that 2% taken out. So it's kind of like if you, and I think I did the numbers. I want to say that on it ends up being like a 2.5% fee or something like that rather than a 2% fee like they say it is because of the way we do business instead of
Hmm.
somebody who's doing FBA and not having to cancel a lot of orders or fake trackings and all of that.
Right.
But I mean, there's days where literally a third of my orders, like, and it's just weird the way that Amazon works, right? Like, if you have a really hot selling item, it goes out of stock on Walmart and your item reprices before or after everybody else's. Now you're stuck in the buy box and everyone else is out of stock. So now you had 8 quantity. All 8 of those could be sold within like 10 minutes. And then you're like, oh, I have 8 out of stocks because you were the last one for the repricer to update. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've experienced that yet, but
Yeah, I have. Well, this was another mistake we made. So with Home Depot, you get free shipping on all orders over $45. You can put multiple items into your cart, ship to multiple addresses, and still get the free shipping. But one of the weird things about their website is that you can't buy 2 of the same item, put them into one order, and then ship them to different addresses. So we got the buy box for this item one day. We sold like a ton of them in one day, but they were like, it was like a $15 item. And we couldn't fulfill the orders because we couldn't get free shipping on all of them because, we just didn't have enough orders that were to get free shipping on 15 different items.
that
So
same thing happened to me when I tried using Home Depot as a source at the beginning. It
for
was some
Amazon,
it was closet made shelving, and I sold, it was like right around that same price point, and I sold so many of them and nothing else. And yeah, it kind of sucked. Luckily I knew Jeremy and like also I had some eBay Home Depot orders, whatever, so I was able to mix kind of like the two together. And I'm
yeah,
sure you do the same thing, right?
yeah,
So yeah, it helps that you're doing eBay and Amazon, because in case of a situation like that, but it's definitely a lot safer if you're doing it from Home Depot to just do the $35 items, right? And over.
yeah, yeah.
But are you doing enough volume now where you're comfortable doing?
Yeah, we're comfortable doing that. And for like items like that, like we had to delete it from the store. Or wait, did we delete it or would you just mark up the price? I forget which one we did. We either just deleted it or we marked it up so that we got less sales on it. But I forget which one we did.
And are you using Web Scraper app or SkuGrid?
Web scraper app now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you like that software?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely more expensive. Like SkuGrid is like dirt cheap compared to, because with Web Scraper app, you got to use, as you know, you got to use both Web Scraper app and Informed.
Mm-hmm.
Informed is the website, used to be called App Eagle, but that's the one that actually does the repricing. But the benefit of that is that Informed is like a super legit software that like so many top Amazon sellers, like including ones that do FBA, use it because it works so well.
Yeah, for what you guys out there that don't know what he's talking about. So basically, Web Scraper app just finds the price of the item and then puts it into like a format that is uploaded into Informed, and then Inform actually you can create strategies within Informed that helps you get the buy box more, or when you have the buy box, you can raise your margin so that you're maximizing your margin in the buy box. But yeah, basically, Web Scraper app is just a way to scrape the source itself, and then Informed actually does the repricing. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and I think also Web Scraper, I think it does the stock too. I'm not.
Oh yeah, whether it's in or out of stock. Yeah. That makes sense if it's getting the price. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many VAs do you have working on your actually, yeah, both eBay and Amazon? How many VAs?
So Amazon, it's 3. I have one who pretty much does everything except for listing. She does everything except for listing, and then the other 2 list. I hired both of them on like a trial basis, but to see which one did better. But they both do a good job, so I'm keeping them both around.
Nice.
eBay, I don't know. I always forget. It's a lot. It's like 2 customer service, like 3 that place orders at different shifts, and then I feel like it's like 7 or 8. Oh, and then
I'm sure you have a manager that like manages the team, right?
Yeah. So I didn't probably... like the problem with my main like big account, my oldest account, is that it was like the account I learned on. So I made like a lot of mistakes when I set it up. And definitely the way I hired virtual assistants and set up my team is not great. It's not great. And if I could go back, I would do it completely differently. But it is what it is now. It works. So I guess it's all that matters.
Yeah, I know we both have courses on hiring virtual assistants. What's funny though is like once you get comfortable with your virtual assistant team, it's like, oh, I don't want to hire another one. Like I just want my team to work the way it works right now. And I don't want to have to worry about training anybody else, because I've had my VAs now for over a year. My 2 customer service returns, they do all of that, to complement what Sale Freaks is doing. And then obviously I have my Amazon team. And they've been with me since the very beginning too of my Amazon account. I've had a couple like listers leave, because listing is the easiest job on Amazon in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've had a few listers leave and a few new ones get trained, but outside of that, like my team leads and all that on Amazon, they've stayed the same. But do you train your virtual assistants yourself? How does that work for you?
Yeah, I do.
So every new hire goes through you.
I haven't hired. I hired for Amazon, but I haven't really hired for eBay in a while because I'm just set the way it is. So.
Yeah. And these people are making good money, and it's an easy job for them, so they don't really go anywhere as long as your store's running. And
yeah,
they're pretty loyal. One
of the mistakes I made when I started hiring was I hired everyone on an hourly pay, and I'm paying them like so much more, like double what I'd be paying them if I just salaried them for a month.
Yeah, and that's what I do on Amazon. I have them salaried, and on eBay I'm actually doing hourly, and I've just never switched it. So
yeah, I feel like I can't switch it now. But yeah, I think the Amazon one is salaried because I learned my lesson before then. So
definitely the best way to go.
Yeah,
for sure. Someone said, how do you keep up with your VA's hours? What do you use?
So some of mine are still from Upwork when I used to hire from there. Upwork keeps track of that for you. But my new VAs, my newer, are from online jobs. So they keep a spreadsheet, and I actually have them send me a PayPal invoice so that I don't have to, go in and because I always forget to send them their money because I have like a few too many of them. So they send me the invoice that reminds me to check, and then that's all I do. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely convenient. Yeah, I get sent. What's cool about Amazon is I get sent a message from the team lead, and then she distributes the money. So
Okay.
Basically, it's around $2,100 a month is what I pay for my virtual assistant team on Amazon. So I just on a bi-weekly basis or whatever, every 2 weeks, I just send her half the funds, like $1,100 or whatever, or $1,050, and then she distributes. So I don't really, I only have to deal with one person and one transaction.
Yeah,
It's interesting to me the tax implications of hiring out of the country. I'm not honestly, like, I'm not sure the CPA that I used last year knows everything about it. I'm sure you've looked into it. I need to get somebody who's more of an expert of how write-off actually work. Like, can I write off my full virtual assistant expense? Because I don't think you can unless you're like incorporated or something. But I mean, maybe you can correct me. Maybe you've looked into this.
I don't know. I mean, I've looked into like what you have to because if you have an employee in the United States, you got to do like all this stuff. Like you got to, actually give them a paycheck and you take stuff out of it, blah, 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 all that stuff. But I think if they're overseas, you don't have to do that. So that's something I've looked into. But as for the write-off, I don't know. I have to check my taxes from last year. So I don't know
what's interesting with the Amazon VAs, since they're all in the same office. I mean, I got my virtual assistant team through Matt Gambrell, and then the initial people were trained from his team manager, and then I built my team off of his team kind of thing. So they're all in the same office, like his virtual assistants, my virtual assistants, all of the people that are his clients, like all of their virtual assistants are all in the same building and all in the same office. And our the manager of the entire process can walk around and talk to different people. Like it's a legitimate office, it's crazy. But anyway, we have to honor some of the holidays and things like that in the Philippines. And one of the laws, you have to pay time and a half on certain days, on certain holidays. So we actually have to do that with our virtual assistants. Like we have to honor the Philippine labor laws because of the way everything is set up. But
do you pay the 13th month to them?
Do I pay what do you mean the 13th month?
So in December, do you pay an extra month's bonus?
So naturally, we do that because it is, just it's a bonus. I'm not sure, is that something that you have to do in the Philippines?
Yeah, if you own a business in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure it's a law there that you have to pay a 13th month. So if they've been employed for a certain period of time, on one of the last weeks of the month, you have to pay them in addition to whatever you're paying them for December, you have to pay them an additional month's salary.
Maybe we don't hear about that because we all are it's not mandatory, but we all do it. Everyone on the team, everyone that works with Matt, we pay our VA as a bonus anyway. So maybe that's what that is.
Is that high?
It's pretty high, yeah, because it basically covers Cyber Monday through Christmas. Because we use that as this is your bonus for everyone working, and we also have VAs now that are going to be doing 24-hour fulfillment. So there'll be a night shift and a day shift. So obviously, those people are going to require bonuses and things like that to keep them motivated as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty significant bonus because what they make compared to what the Amazon sales is pretty insignificant to the overall profit of our business. So it's just worth it to keep them happy, and make sure that they feel like they're getting a really, really good bonus.
Yeah, that reminds me to do that.
Yeah, man, your VAs are gonna come to my store. Hey, Paul's VAs, if you're watching, I'm hiring. No, I'm just kidding.
So who set that up? That office?
Matt did, man. Matt is
go there.
Yeah, Matt's been there. Yeah, he's been there. There's I want to say there's over 90 people in the office that all work on Matt's accounts, or maybe it's over 100 Matt's accounts, or my account, or the rest of the team. I hope I'm not saying too much. Sorry, Matt, if I am. I'll have to watch what I talk about from now on. But there's actually, there's plenty of people that have similar setups to him. And I feel like it's worth it to go over there one time, get it all set up, whatever. But he's got like a right-hand man. It's a female, but right-hand man over in the Philippines. Actually, two of them that, like I said, are like the team managers and are able to constantly hire and all of that. And as long as he keeps them happy, like the team's just golden. Yeah, and they're very loyal. That's the biggest thing is like, what if Matt spent all this time building out a team, building out an Amazon business, teaching all the VAs the strategy, teaching the team managers the strategy? What's to say they're not going to go, find sellers and say, hey, we know the strategy of Matt Gambrell, so why don't you hire us, pay us good money, we'll hire VA teams for you, all of that. So you need to find loyalty.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do. But that'd be stupid because, as soon as you do, if anyone ever came to me and said that, I would just, it's pretty obvious those people aren't loyal and they're just going to leave you when someone else better comes along.
Yeah, exactly. And I have no doubt in my mind that Matt's people would not do that at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's too good to him. There's too good of a setup now. So, but yeah.
Have you ever been over there to the Philippines?
No, but I want to go.
Yeah,
I want to go. I wish my two eBay VAs were in the same place, but I looked on a map and they're in like opposite islands, so I wouldn't be able to visit both of them. But I could visit the VA team with Matt, and that would be pretty cool. What about yourself? You have any plans on going there? I
haven't until like now, until you brought that up. And I have a friend who drop ships on eBay. He's not really in this, doesn't really put himself out there a lot, but he just went over there to build a team, to build like an office for his team, which is pretty cool.
Was it that Gal Kliger guy that posted it on his Dropshippers? Yeah. Dude, that guy's sales are pretty insane. I thought he was working hard, but someone told me he wasn't. No, he's not. Unless he is, and we'll talk about it later. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. You don't know his story.
I don't know his story.
How'd you meet that guy?
I have no idea. I think he messaged me on Instagram, and we just started like chatting because we both are drop shippers, and I don't know. I don't want to say too much about how I know him because I don't know how private he is. So
he seems like a pretty private guy. So yeah, good call.
But he's a really good guy.
But he did post on Honest Dropshippers, so I guess he probably wants to start building out. And he was like, I just want Instagram followers. So maybe he wants to build out a personal brand and tell people about himself a little bit more. Because obviously he's doing something cool.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
And and that's, what is it, like $1,000 to get to the Philippines and everything? Once you're there, everything's cheap. Like, I feel like that right there is, you're making a ton of money if you go set up an office. And not only that, but once you set up an office, you can do it kind of like Matt's done, where maybe you can create a huge virtual assistant team and then like hire or do like a virtual assistants for hire type of business, and just like, do another business that for eBay dropshippers or something.
Yeah.
Instead of just having a course like you have, you can have the course, but then be like, here's the done for you type of thing, which is huge right now. But yeah, man, we're at an hour now, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to get you on here when I could, and I'm grateful you came on. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you wanted to check the chat or whatever before we left, but maybe you can encourage people to hit the like button, and the people that hit the dislike, maybe you can encourage them to take that off and change it to a like before we leave here.
Did people hit the dislike button?
Oh, 8 people. 8 people.
So hit that little thumbs up. You can't see it on my screen.
Wait, let me see. I'll put it on you. There you go. Tap your. Oh, you got the ring light. There you go. Yes, I see it. Oh, you only have 1 on there right now?
Yeah, because it doesn't load up.
Gotcha. All right, I can see it.
That was really bad.
But now at least I know you're using the ring light.
Yeah, I have this mini one that I use. That doesn't really do much, but
guys, just because Paul struggled so much, please hit the like button. And I saw one more person hit the dislike button, but I appreciate everyone coming out.
You accidentally hit it when I was trying to hit the like.
Oh, it was you? Oh, there it goes. It went away. Nice. Mike Works Online said he just smashed that dislike. All right, everyone, don't go check out MikeWorksOnline.com. Don't go listen to his podcast because he hit the dislike button. No, but I'm just kidding. Go check out MikeWorksOnline.com. I did a podcast with him a few months ago. Just did another one with him yesterday that's going to be released shortly. Paul, have you ever been reached out by him?
I think I talked to him once. Yeah.
Nice. It's always fun doing the podcast. It'd be cool to add more of that to my stuff. But again, thank you, Paul. Sorry for the long outro here. Have a good rest of the day and talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye.